Hi everyone, welcome to the introduction for a brand new feature we've added in Tracktion 6.2, JavaScript Macros. We've replaced the internal shortcut system to use JavaScript controlled actions to give an extremely flexible environment for creating custom shortcuts. The first thing you'll see when you go to the keyboard shortcuts settings page is the new Show Script Editor button. Enabling this shows the underlying JavaScript for each shortcut. As you can see, all the existing keyboard shortcuts now have underlying JavaScript. First thing we'll do is add a new macro. Simply press the Add New Macro button to do this and rename it to something appropriate. For this first macro, we'll just add a way to show the Run Script menu with a key command. Once in the code editor, you can right-click to see a list of actions. The standard shortcuts contains all the built-in shortcuts, the basic actions simple behavior, and the advanced actions more complex actions that may take or return edit objects to interact with. You'll also notice in this menu that any currently assigned shortcuts will show up next to the action, so you can easily find a key command without leaving the edit screen. As our script is only made up of one action, we'll simply select it from the list. Once we're done, we can assign a new key command to it. If we switch to the edit screen and press our key command, the Run Script menu appears. This has the same layout as the script editor and enables you to quickly run a script, even if you don't have a keyboard shortcut associated with it. You'll see we can quickly arm all input devices even if I've forgotten the key command. If you don't have a script set up to show this menu, you can display it using the new Run Script button in the bottom left. If we switch back to the keyboard shortcuts page, we can easily delete macros. Now we're going to create a more complex macro to show only audio loops containing the Motown keyword. First, create a new macro and name it appropriately. Now we're going to build our script from a set of predefined actions. Firstly, we want to ensure the side panel is visible. Next, we want to set the text of the search field, and then ensure only results from the loops library are displayed. To do this, we need to hide the other library types, so create 3 of these actions. If an action takes a predefined string, you can right-click the string to see the possible argument options. Here we can see the Enable Search Library function has 3 possible first arguments. We'll set preset and plugin to false to hide them. If you hover over a function name, you'll get a tooltip showing what arguments and their type are expected. The argument names in these tips can provide a little more information as to how the argument will be interpreted. Finally, we need to set our search term to Motown. Once we're done, simply assign a key command, switch to the edit screen and run the script. Notice to start with that all the search libraries are enabled. Now as we run our script, the text is replaced with Motown and the other libraries have been hidden. If we show the script menu with our previous macro, we can see the new action is now under the User Macros section, along with the key command we assigned to it. Next, we're going to use a JavaScript loop to run an action several times. Let's say we want to insert 4 tracks. First, we create a new macro and choose the Insert Track action. You'll notice we get a helpful arguments list again. Next, we want to create a for loop to repeat this action 4 times. Now when we run the script from the edit page, we get 4 new audio tracks. Back in the script editor, you'll see the pass status in the bottom right hand corner. If the script is valid, it will show a green tick. If you've made a mistake, it will appear as a red cross. Clicking the cross will show you where you've gone wrong. Here we've misspelt the function name and the error message lets us know it's not recognized. Let's correct the error. If you're making complex scripts, it's a good idea to add some feedback so you know when one has run. You can do this with the Show Message action. Now when we run the script, our custom message appears. When you end up with lots of macros, it can be difficult to find free keyboard shortcuts for them. You still want easy access to these actions, however. Similarly to the custom plugin menu, you can create your own macro tree that shows up in the Run Script menu. Simply drag macros from the list to the tree. You can easily create subfolders. Back in the edit, you'll see a flat list of the macros you have created and our new menu. Notice the assigned key command is also shown. Again, the same menu can always be reached from the Run Script button. Creating scripts based on other scripts is easy, as you can insert the contents of a script from the editor menu. Here we'll add a new script to create 12 tracks based on the one for 4. Now we can trigger it even without adding a key command. Sharing scripts couldn't be simpler. You can either copy and paste the raw script text to others or export as a file. To do this, simply click the Export button. A new file is created with the .traction script extension. If we delete the existing script, we can import the one we just exported by dragging the file onto the macro list. Sharing scripts this way retains key commands. Alternatively, you can browse to import scripts with the Import button. So far, we've only covered the basics of the new scripting features. However, some functions return objects that can be passed to other functions to create more complex behavior. In this next example, we're going to create 8 new tracks and add a copy of master mix to each of them. First, create a new macro and start a loop similar to before. This time, we're going to store the track object returned from the insert track function. Next, we want to use the insert plugin function and pass it our track object so it knows where to create the plugin. You'll notice the help is useful here as it tells us exactly what this function requires. In this case, the defaults are fine. We want to create a new plugin on our track with the name Master Mix. We want this at plugin index 0, the start of the plugin chain, and we want the VST format. Finally, we'll add a message but show it above the Properties panel, assign a key command and add it to our custom menu. Now if we run our script, you can see how with just a few lines of simple code we've completely eradicated all those drags and clicks that would have previously been required to set this up.